What to eat? What to eat? What the? Who put the Rice Krispies in the refrigerator? What the? Hey! Ambrosia! I can eat that. Alright, breakfast is served. Take two, this voiceover. Salty Texas here. Welcome back to the channel. Glad you're with us. So today we're doing an Ambrosia bowl project. From the beginning of the video, you could see that we took a block of Ambrosia out of a cup of Rice Krispies and are now working it on the lathe. I like this wood a lot. It's got a lot of good texture. It's got a lot, actually it doesn't have good texture. It has good grain in it. It makes some very cool patterns with the wood grain itself. However, the wood is very fibrous from what I've discovered, and you're going to see that here in the video. If you've seen my previous video that I did with the Ambrosia, it turns out very beautiful. It's a very beautiful, very soft wood to work with. You're getting a lot of good material off right there, as you can tell. But the problem is it's very wet and damp when you start to work with it, and then the deeper you get into some of these pockets that have moisture in them, you can tell that it's just very fibrous. And right there you can see, look at all the cool tiger stripes that are on this wood. And it's a beautiful block of wood. So what we were doing today was just doing a small shallow bowl. As you saw from the blank itself, it's not very large. But I wanted to do like a very technical build. I'm trying to perfect some of the finer details of woodworking before I get back into resin work. And I'm trying to really just get a good grip on the tools. And you can see here I'm doing a tannin on both sides before I put it in the chuck. I'm making sure that the tannins in the back have enough material to where the chuck can actually grip on adequately, because I found that that's a significant problem in some of my other previous projects that I've done. So now I got it reversed in the chuck, and now what I'm going to do here is separate the two pieces from the actual bowl itself to the lid of the pot. And all I'm doing here is taking the gouge and dividing where I want it to be. And I'm getting a lot of good material off, it's going real well. The build so far, is going real well. And here I am trying to separate the two. And I knew immediately, because of all the moisture and the fibrous nature of the wood, that I wasn't going to get it off with a handsaw. So I came back with the Sawzall and just went to town and cut right through it. Still had a little bit of problems. I need a new Sawzall blade, but there's the main body of the bowl. That's essentially what we're working with here. So now we got it still on the chuck, and now we're just reversing it to where we're gonna get the tannin on it. And this took a little while because I knew I didn't have a lot of material, so I wanted it deep enough to where I could put it on the chuck and still have enough material to make a decent shallow bowl. Because that's the problem. If you go too deep into the tannin, once you reverse it, you're just gonna like gouge right through it, and then you're just gonna waste your whole project. And you can see there again a lot of the fibrous nature of the wood, and it's unfortunate, but I don't know how to fix that. So here we are, we got it reversed on the chuck, the tannin is off. So now we're just getting the basic shape of the bowl where we want it. Everything's going real well. Didn't have any real problems with this build. It was just a quick project that I wanted to get done. I had these blocks of wood for a little while, and this is essentially what I wanted to do. So here I am taking that forward tannin off of it, and came through with the handsaw. You can see here we're having a little bit of problems with it. Popped right off though. So now this is the most technical part of the build, where you're just trying to gauge how deep you can go with a bowl before you poke through the other end. So in the video you might not see it, but I stopped and go a couple of times with it, trying to figure out how deep to actually take it. And we got an okay depth on it, considering that it had a top on it. I think we did pretty good. So now we're working on the lid portion of it, and I've learned that if I take the tailstock, even though it's in the chuck, I find that using the tailstock will give you a lot more stability and really allow you to work a little bit more finer detail with the product instead of just leaving it on there, because you get a little bit of wobble, but I think the tailstock really helps you stabilizing it. So here I am gauging how big I need to get this, and this is one of the best bowls and tops that I've done. Everything lines up real well. So here I am just getting it reversed on the chuck, or doing the tannin for the bottom of it, and you can see all the fiber coming off of it, which is a damn shame because it's a really pretty wood. But all these fibers, even with the sanding that I'm going to do later, it still doesn't get out everything. You can still see those moisture spots and all the fiber that's in the wood. So here we are just doing some touch-up work to the side of the bowl, or this is the top of it, and now we're just gauging how deep we need to go as far as gauging it out. So this took a little bit while because it's so fibrous. Depending on where you would put the bowl on the lid, some parts would stick better than others, and it was kind of difficult to kind of assess what was really going on. So now we got it reversed, and I didn't do a notch on the top of this one. This one was just a shallower type of project. Excuse me. So there we are, just gouging out the top. Real easy type of build. Easy pot. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about all that coughing in the background. So here we are just polishing everything up. And you can see once we put the wood wax on it, it looks absolutely gorgeous. But you can still see those fibers in the wood, which makes it unfortunate, but it turned out pretty good. Overall, really happy with it. And yeah, shouldn't you use the scissors? You can see the gouge where I took it out, but it just didn't seal the way I wanted it to, even with the sanding. But overall, real happy with the project. Turned out real well. Alright, so project is done. Not too bad. Not my best work, but not the worst work I've ever done. So there it is. You can see all that cool tiger stripes in this Ambrosia bowl. For some reason, now it's put together. You can kind of see it. Look at it. Look at it. It's super shallow. And I knew that going into it. I just wanted to get like a quick project in for this weekend. And I was like, let's build an Ambrosia bowl with a top. And I've gotten better at these wooden tops, but the wood, you can tell, is like, it's kind of chafed there a little bit. It's not completely dried out, but it looks really cool. A lot better than my other bowl that I did in the past. Look at all that cool grain. Look at that. This wood is awesome. If it was just maybe in a bigger block and it wasn't so janky, maybe. Look at it. Okay, I'm gonna zoom it in. Zoom it in. There it is. Totally cool. Really cool tiger stripe bowl. So, real shallow, nothing too sophisticated. I just want to get more technical. The more shallow you do these bowls, like the more technical your skills have to be, because you really have to concentrate and really just not get aggravated with the wood. And I mean, that was the whole point of this project. So, overall, real happy the way it turned out. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe. We're up to 171 subs. Super excited about that. So let's keep growing this channel, and hope everybody's doing well out there. And there it is, a shallow bowl. Shallow pot. I don't know what to call it. Pot, bowl. Meh. Doesn't matter. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, all that good shit. And I'll see you guys in the next project.